Do you feel like you don't have enough time to effectively give yourself to your current commitment? Are you burnt out, exhausted from trying to meet up with deadlines, but having so much work piled up and not having enough time to get them done? In this video, I'll be sharing with you a time management system that will help you maximize the time you have. And if that is something you're interested in, let's get into the video. This video is broken down into parts. In the second part, I'll be showing you how I manage my time using Google Calendar, and I'll also give you tips that will help you effectively manage your time. So you want to stick around to the end of the video, okay? Do a time audit. This is the process of tracking and analyzing your time to see where your time goes versus where you think they go. It's like financial audit, but instead of tracking money, you're tracking your minutes and hours. How do you do a time audit? Track every single thing you do. Let's take, for example, Monday through to Sunday. Track every single thing you do from the moment you wake up till you lay your head back to rest. 15 minutes to 30 minutes interval. What are you doing every hour? When you scroll on the internet, take note of it. When you wake up, your morning routine, you brush, your devotion, your commute hours, take note of every single thing. At the end of the week, group every activity into chores, work, leisure, personal growth, the hours you spend giving yourself to low-value tasks and tasks that are not beneficial to you on the long run. Now that you are clear on that, let's go ahead into planning your ideal week. Write out every commitment you have. Many times, the reason you don't have enough time to do everything that you're doing is because you're doing so much. You're trying to do everything at the same time. So instead of trying to do everything at the same time, write out every commitment you have and the number of hours you need to commit to each of those commitments per week. When you do that, you realize that if you're going to work about this commitment, you actually don't have enough time and you might need to cut down on a couple of things. Remember the time audit we did? From that time audit, you can easily prioritize what are your low value tasks and what are your high value tasks. What are the things that are important, that are urgent? What are the things you can delegate? What are the things you can leave for now and push into some other month or some other year, or you can push aside? What are the things you need to say no to? You don't have to do everything. You don't have to register for that program. You don't have to say yes to that offer. You don't have to do every single thing. Ask yourself, what am I doing now, or what in this my list of commitments is going to add to me short term and most importantly long term? Which of these things are most beneficial to me? It might look like everything is going to add value to you, but you will know within yourself that certain things are more crucial than the rest. So prioritize and eliminate, okay? Evict some things out of your schedule. Now that you have a better picture of what exactly you are committing yourself to, it's time to design your calendar. What does an ideal week look like? Think about it and write it down. From the moment you wake up till you lay your head back to rest, what does an ideal week look like? What does a winning week look like for you? This is peculiar to you. Look at your life. Remember, you've done a time audit. You've seen how you are spending your time, and you already have an idea of how you want to improve on that, how you want to make that better. So design your ideal week. This is a series. I'm doing a series on time management. So if this is something you're interested in, you should definitely subscribe so you won't miss out when the next video comes up, okay? So we'll be using the Google Calendar to design your ideal week. You're filling everything you'll be doing every single day into your calendar. Your morning routine, how long does it take? Your night routine, how long does it take? Your commute time to work, how long does it take? Do you go to work every day? The times you're not commuting, what can you do with that time? And block your days such that every hour you step into, you know what you're supposed to be doing by that time. Was you've appointed tasks and appointed duties, or appointed, for example, if you have your prayer time and you set your alarm to that prayer time, every time your alarm rings, you are reminded that you're supposed to be doing something else at that time, which is prayer. So if you're on the call with somebody, you know you need to get off the call. Once you're having conversation with somebody and you want to fix a meeting time for that time, you are where you have a prior commitment. So that way you are prioritizing certain tasks above others. This is not for you to be rigid. You can definitely be flexible with this. You can plan your ideal week and have immovable tasks like your work hours and your sleep time and your prayer time and your reading time. You can have some immovable tasks. You can have some non-negotiables, and you can have some things that are negotiable that you can move from one day to another or from 1 hour to another. But having a Google Calendar that syncs with your Gmail, of course, and that you can easily set reminders on, keeps you in check and helps you prioritize how you spend your day. I like seeing 24 hours like currency, right? You have 24,000 naira to spend today. And while that looks like a small amount, when you consider the compound effect, it is massive. How you treat your day is a reflection of the kind of results you're expecting to get at the end of the year. So as simple as this might sound, it's a hack that works. Beyond just listening to this video, I want you to implement every single step and let me know your thoughts in the comment section, okay? While planning your ideal week, there are certain things you should take note of. For example, your energy level. If you're a morning person, there are certain things you can fix in the morning such that you can maximize your energy for that time. And there are certain low value tasks you can fix in the evening at the time you'll be tired. If you know that when you get back from work, you will be too exhausted to write or to plan something or to give yourself to that side project you're working on, then try to push it to a time where you are more disposed to excellently give yourself to that time. It ensures that if a task is supposed to take you 30 minutes, you are not giving it 2 hours because that is not a suitable time for you. So find a suitable time that works for each task. And you might be saying, okay, I don't have full control of my time. I have work, I have this, there are certain things that I don't have control over. You do have control over it. You can manage it. I'm not saying you should multitask, but there are certain things you can do. Sit down and think. This commit time that I have, it stresses me. How can I maximize this commit time? What can I do during this time that would fill up this time well enough for me to get things done? Give yourself time to rest. For example, when you did your ideal calendar, you see that you're a morning person, but you have to wake up early to go to work. Let's say you have to wake up by 6 a.m. to go to work. Try waking up 30 minutes earlier or an hour earlier. Don't be too hard on yourself, okay? Go easy, make it easy so you don't give up halfway. Try to wake up 30 minutes earlier and fix something to do within 20 to 30 minutes after you wake up, such that it doesn't completely disrupt your already set schedule, certain things that you don't have control over, but you're carefully chipping in certain things into your day, certain things that actually matter to you. Now, this is a system, and systems are designed to make it easy for you to execute. Ensure that the system you are setting, that is your ideal week, your ideal calendar, is well suited to what you already have, that you're not making such a drastic change that you're not able to keep up with. Also, you can have a review at the end of each week or at the end of 2 weeks and see how, after you've set this system, what is working for you and what is not working for you. And you can make tweaks along the way and find a system that effectively suits your life. Now that you've written out what your ideal week should look like, let's get into setting up your time management system on Google Calendar. Everybody has access to Google Calendar, so we would get into Google Calendar. But before I set up everything on Google Calendar, you want it written down in detail, okay? So let's get into Google Calendar. So when you open your Google Calendar, you would either see the month at a glance. This is seeing the month at a glance. This we're in October, November. You can see the month at a glance. If you toggle this 3 hamburger icon, you can adjust to see your day and see the time, each time of the day. You can see 3 days, a week, back to the month at a glance. So we'll start with your day. Looking at your day, you want to, let's start from the next day. Let's start from a fresh day, or we can even start from today. Or let's start from a Monday, okay? So starting from a Monday, you want to click this plus icon here, this plus icon, tap on the plus icon, add an event, and want to add it to my ideal week. So I created this on my laptop. if you want to do that on your laptop, it's not necessary, but I wanted to separate this for this purpose. You can add that label on your laptop, or you can just leave it. It's not necessary. So what do you want to do? So let's say you wake up in the morning, what's your morning routine like? You can either break your morning routine down into steps according to the time, or you can just put morning routine. And when you put morning routine, what time is your morning routine going to start? You set the time, let's say 6 a.m. 6 a.m. till, is it 7 a.m. or let's say 6:45 a.m. And do you want this to repeat? Is this a recurring task? So firstly, we would like to input recurring tasks. So repetitive tasks that you know happens every single day. Does it repeat? Yes. How often does it repeat? Every day. And then we might not need to add location. You can add description to describe. This is not necessary, but if you want to do it, you can add description. Another thing I like to do is to color code. So these are the colors available on Google Calendar. You can customize it, but that's also not necessary. These are the colors available, and you can add labels to this color. So you can have, remember we categorized our activities when we did our time audit. So if you have activities that are like personal care, you can give it blueberry, or work, give it banana. That's the color that I'm seeing here. Or leisure, entertainment, give it grape. Just color code your activities, so when you get a notification or you open your calendar and you see a color, you can easily identify and familiarize yourself with what you're supposed to do, even without looking at the particular task. So we have that morning routine. My favorite part, add notification. Because having your task on your Google Calendar is not enough. You want to get constant reminders, because you are most times always on your mobile device. So this will sync across all your devices. Now, I like to put 30 minutes before. So it's going to remind me 30 minutes before, 15 minutes before, 5 minutes before. And you can customize however you like. You can put 1 hour before, but this is how I like to do mine. And put a default color. You want to ensure that notification from Google Calendar is turned on your device, so you would get the notification for this event or this task or this activity before it happens. Getting that, so you see it has replicated itself across my calendar, across the month. So we have that as a recurring activity throughout the month. So now, that's how you add activities to your calendar. If you have activities that are not reoccurring, you just want to do this today, probably you want to incorporate your to-do list for the day into your Google Calendar, you can add record. Another thing you want to do with your Google Calendar is you want to be specific with those kind of activities, okay? You don't want to be vague. You don't want to see a notification from your Google Calendar and not understand what exactly you're supposed to do. So record, time, management, video. So I want to do that from 4:30 to 5:30. This does not repeat, so I leave it to not repeat. And I want to add, do I want to add location? Not really. I want to add notification 30 minutes before, 5 minutes before, and 10 minutes before. I want to change this to red, so that's tomato. And we have that. You can also add task. So Google has a to-do app, task. You don't need to have that installed for this to work, but you can have that to remind you of task to do. And you can, so I can either add that record YouTube video to an event or to a task. Now, let's even go back. record time management video. I want it to repeat, right? Does it repeat? Yes, it repeats every week. So repeat every week. So Wednesday from 4:30 to 5:30, I want to record my YouTube videos, okay? So recurring task you have that is not daily, but weekly, you can set it that way. There are tasks that also happen maybe once a month or once a year, include it. Or you can customize that you want it to repeat every week until a particular date, or you want it to repeat every 2 weeks, or you can put that customization on your Google Calendar and save. And there you are, and that's it. Every task, event, activity you want to include, add it to your Google Calendar, add notifications, and you are good to go. First, add recurring task, then include your day-to-day tasks. So what do you want to do on Monday, and what do you want to do on Monday? What do you want to do on Tuesday? What do you want to do on Wednesday? Your to-do list, add it to your Google Calendar. The fact that you're going to get constant reminders at 30 minutes to the time, 15 minutes, 10 minutes to the time would constantly remind you of what you're supposed to do at a particular time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you should definitely subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video. Bye guys, and I'll see you in the next video.